What's up, guys? Eric Prey, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Wednesday, I think it's 28th, I don't know, 28th, 29th, something like that. Couple of full days, and probably won't even get this up until tomorrow, until Thursday. Just got in between trips right now. Got an afternoon trip out of Big Cedar today. As far as our lake level is concerned, we are at 915.31. Still about 1.5 feet below normal pool. Not really running a lot of water. All the lakes are below normal pool, so hopefully we're supposed to get some rain the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll get that rain, get a little bit of fresh water, get a little bit of current going, maybe make the bite a little bit better. Water temperature, it is dropping. I'm seeing a lot of 77, 78 first thing in the morning, getting up to about 79 in the afternoon. I know up in the rivers where the water's got a little bit more color to it, you'll see 72, well, not really 72, 73, 74 first thing in the morning, but that water does warm up when you get a sunny day. It warms up pretty quick. So on average, we're right around that 78 mark. Fishing is changing a little bit. It really feels like the thermocline that we had is starting to break up. Starting to see fish deeper than they have been, starting to see fish shallower. There's a lot of fish are scattered. That really seems to be, I guess, the watchword for the day, is that the fish are scattered. We're not finding them grouped up as much as we have before, but the best way to stay on top of it, best way to know what's going on, stay with these fish, is to become a pro member of Table Rock Fishing Intel. Get those daily, weekly reports, get all the information we've got on there, all the videos. Get another monthly video coming up next week with something a little bit different, concentrating on the tournaments that are coming up and how to fish as a team together. So we got that to look forward to, but we got a lot of stuff coming up, got a lot of stuff going on right now. Join Table Rock Fishing Intel. But if you're coming down, going to fish the lower end where I am today. I fished up at Kimberling this morning. I'm down here on the lower end this afternoon. Fished the lower end, I guess it was one day last week. The bite is not horrible. The bite's a little bit better up the lake, that's for sure. But we are catching them down here. Basically, we're still drop shotting. Like I said, the fish have moved, or the thermocline seems to have broken up. So, you know, it's weird. One day you'll catch them up about 22 to 25. The next day they're out 30 to 35. So you got to move around a lot. Seems like the bite on the gravel points is best. Those long tapering gravel main lake points is best. But if you're struggling on those points, I've been catching them out of trees, some of the deep trees and some of the creek arms, and I've been catching them off of dock cables again. So these fish are scattered. I'm not finding large groups of fish anywhere to speak of. So keep that in mind. You're not going to just load the boat everywhere you go. You're going to have to move around quite a bit. Football jig bite was getting really good. It is still okay, catching them mostly on the Pee-wee football jig from Jewel. And again, on those gravel points, seems like the bite's a little bit better early. You know, they'll be up a little shallower, 15 to 20 down here. Once the sun comes up, you can still catch a few of them on that Pee-wee football jig, but you got to get out deep. Most of them are 20 to 30 at that point, and most of them are smallmouth, and there are some better fish coming doing that. Go up in the mid-lake area, the bite is definitely better in the mid-lake area. Kind of a hit and miss topwater bite going on right now with either a whopper plopper or a spook, a little bit on a popper. It's kind of hit and miss though. You know, one day you'll catch them, the next day you don't. So it's good to have a topwater laying out. You're not going to see a lot of fish busting, but they are up chasing shad. There's some shad that are starting to move back into the creeks, so you can catch a few on topwater. Pee-wee football jig bite and regular football jig bite is much better in the mid-lake. They're shallower. They'll be as shallow as 8 to 10 early in the morning. They'll be out 10 to 15, 10 to 20 once the sun gets up. And then, of course, a drop shot bite. You can still catch them drop shot in there on either a shad-shaped cut tail UV drop shot worm. Bite seems to be a little bit better on gravel there than it is in the trees, but that's a day-to-day thing. One day they'll be in the trees, the next day they'll be out deeper. So they'll be out on those gravel flats. So it's just kind of a hit and miss sort of deal in the drop shot bite there. Go up in the James River. Had a good day up the James last week. Had a little bit of wind, had a little bit of cloud cover, and we caught them on a square bill a little bit in the backs of the creeks, around wood cover. We went back there to throw a topwater. We could see there were fish back in there. Had a couple of them blow up on a buzz bait, but really didn't connect with them. So started throwing a square bill just for something else to do, bang it around that cover. Caught a few on a square bill in the backs of a couple of creeks. Then we caught them on a jig. They're starting to show up. There's some fish starting to show up on docks, so keep that in mind. A lot of the docks like in Ants Creek or in Woolly Creek, Cedar Cove, those sort of areas, we're starting to catch some fish on docks on a pro spider jig or a Texas rig beaver. And then that brush pile bite it's not completely gone away, but it's not quite as good as it was, say, a month ago. We're still catching a few Texas ring and worm and throwing it around brush piles, so keep that in mind too. White River, that's probably where I've spent the most of my time this past week, and it's been bizarre. One day, catch them real good on a peewee football jig in 8 to 12. Next day, struggle to get a bite on a peewee football jig, but I can catch them drop shotting or throwing a kayak out over deeper water. A lot of fish to be caught up there. You just got to move around. You got to be ready to adjust. You got to be ready to change. Have caught them on a buzzbait too up the Kings River. So nothing real consistent, and the fish definitely seem scattered. I can catch them in one spot one day, the next day they're not there. But you know, you can catch them on a peewee football jig some days on those gravel points. I'm going to say 8 to about 15 foot deep. I've been catching them out of treetops with either a drop shot rig with a shad shape or a cut tail, or a kayak swimming it over top of the treetops. Most of the fish are around that 20 to 25 foot range. And I've been catching a few on a buzzbait. Most of the buzzbait fish have been towards the backs of the creeks, mostly up the Kings. Sweetwater had caught some fish out of there, caught some fish out of some of the shorter little pockets back in there, but all those fish have been around cover. So keep that in mind as well. If you're going to go up the White River, there is a bite up the Kings. There is a decent peewee football jig bite some days on those long gravel runouts up the White as well. Guys, we're almost through September. The championship season is getting ready to kick off as far as tournaments. So I'm getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of people that are fishing the OMTT, the Ultimate Challenge, the Bass Pro US Open. We've got several championship tournaments coming to Table Rock here over the next couple of months. Best way to know what's going on, we're really kind of gearing up with Table Rock Fishing Intel, trying to get you the best information we can from some of the best anglers in the area. Best way to know, join Table Rock Fishing Intel. Get those videos that we're doing, get those daily reports, get those weekly reports, have a clue where to start, where you're going to start your practice at before you even get to the water by becoming a pro member of Table Rock Fishing Intel, getting all that information on a daily basis. But if you're looking to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743 or hit my website, focusfishing.com, and either shoot me an email or book online. Either way, I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Take a minute, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.